Hello everyone. Welcome to the virtual class of activity based costing, one of the most important concept in cost and management accounting. In previous session I have discussed basics of activity based costing. I have explained meaning and definition and important terminologies associated with the chapter. Today, in the second session of the topic, I would like to discuss practical application of activity based costing with the explanation of all the important terminologies discussed in previous session. Let us understand the question first. The following are the budgeted details of the product X for the year 2020-21. Activity, purchasing activity, cost driver, purchase order, cost driver volume 3,000 and cost pool 3,60,000. For the purpose of better understanding all four terms used over here: activity, cost driver volume, and cost pool, it is necessary for all of you to have basic idea of all four terminologies. Let me explain these things again. First is activity, and the first activity is a purchasing activity. As per activity based costing, we need to classify all the functions into different groups and subgroups. Here we have classified all related activities of purchases as purchasing activity. Say for example, placing an order, sorting the materials, receiving the inventory from the supplier, storage, insurance, interest on capital employed on inventory, etc. These all items are defined as a purchasing activity. It may be more or less. This is just an example for the easy understanding. Now cost driver. Cost driver for this activity is a purchase order. It means to allocate the expenditure on purchase relating activity, it is necessary for us to consider the base of purchase order. We need to allocate purchasing related activities expenditure based on number of orders placed. How many orders placed? It is given over here. For the year 2020-21, budgeted number of purchase orders are 3,000 and total of all the expenses incurred on purchasing related activities known as a cost pool. It means we have expected that 3,60,000 rupees will be estimated expenditure on purchasing related activity, and we will place 3,000 purchase order during the year 2020-21. This information has a great significance at the time of calculation. Second, startup of the machine. It is a second activity. How to allocate these expenditure? So the base is given. It is allocated on the basis of number of batches or number of jobs. On an average, we will commence 400 number of batches during the year, and approximate expenditure is rupees 3,60,000. The third activity is all about handling of inventory, that is handling of material within the organization during the process of manufacturing. To allocate material handling activity, the base will be materials movement, and total number of material movements are estimated as 8,000. Estimated expenditure on material handling activity 4,80,000. Inspection or quality control. It is based on a number of batches. It means our organization performed inspection or quality control based on number of batches. 400 number of batches will be produced during the year 2020-21, and approximately expenditure will be rupees 2 lakhs. Machining. All activities related to maintenance, overhauling of the machine. Machining is an activity. It may include so many different activities or sub-activities. We have list concerned right now with the other activities included in major activity machining. And for the distribution purpose, we will use base of machine hours. Approximately 40,000 machine hours will be there during the year 2020-21, and approximate cost of machining is rupees 8 lakhs. So in the given table, the examiner has provided ready-made information related to activity, cost driver volume, and cost pool, that is total amount spent on different activities related to the production. Here, all related activities are classified into 5 major activities. First, purchasing. Second, setup. Third, materials handling. Fourth, inspection. And fifth and last, that is machining. This is a base information of the question given to us. Now, what happened in our case? For October 2020, the company is expecting following activities for a product. Calculate overheads cost using activity-based costing method. During October 2020, we have placed purchase orders, and number of purchase orders placed during October 2020 is 45. Number of units produced 20,000. Production batch size 100 units. It means in one batch we used to produce 100 units at a time. So for 20,000 total number of units produced, we need 20,000 divided by 100. So 200 batches. That will calculate later on. But you need to keep these all figures in the mind. Materials movement. Materials movement is given per batch. For each batch, we need to move our materials 5 times. And machine hours per unit. For the manufacturing of 1 unit of the product, we are in need of 0.25 hours. With this, we need to calculate all major items. The first part of the information is given in the table. This is for the period of 2020-21, that is whole year. And these activities are performed during October 2020. So we need to prepare our overhead calculation statement or table, whatever you say, for the period of October 2020. Let us start solution of the problem. If you are clear for the question, it is very easy for you to calculate everything. Calculation of cost driver rate. First column, activity, that is already given to us in the question. Second one is a cost driver, it is also given. Cost pool, total of the expenses incurred on concerned activities, it is already given to us. Cost driver volume, it is also supplied by the examiner as a part of the question. And last, cost driver rate. Cost driver rate is the rate of recovery that we used to apply for the calculation of the cost. Formula for the calculation of cost driver rate is total cost of activity divided by cost drivers of the activity. Let us calculate for first activity. The first activity is purchasing activity. Purchasing activity. It includes so many different activities, but the major activity is related to purchase. Cost driver, as recommended by the examiner in the question, purchase order. Total expenditure incurred on purchasing activity rupees 3,60,000 and 3,000 number of orders placed. So if you want to allocate any expenditure based on purchasing related activity, cost driver rate is 3,60,000 divided by rupees 3,000. So 3,60,000 divided by 3,000 is equal to rupees 120 per purchase order. Don't forget that we need to transfer purchasing related expenses based on number of purchase orders, and the cost is rupees 120 per purchase order. After discussion of purchasing activity, let us move to the second activity. Second activity of the manufacturing organization is setup of the machine. The suitable base for the distribution of the expenditure on setup of the machine is number of batches, and estimated expenditure is rupees 3,60,000. On an average, 400 number of batches are expected to set during the year 2020-21. So 3,60,000 divided by 400 number of batches. So the perfect base to transfer expenses on setup of the machine to the concerned task or job of the period is rupees 900 per batch. We need to allocate rupees 900 per batch based on number of batches conducted. The third expenditure is materials handling. For the purpose of the distribution, we have to apply base of materials movement as it is ready-made given in the question. Total expenses to be incurred on materials handling is rupees 4,80,000, and it is expected that total 8,000 movements will be there. So 4,80,000 divided by 8,000 movements is equal to rupees 60 per movement. It means expenses incurred on materials handling activity will be allocated per movement of material and the rate is rupees 60. The fourth activity available to us in our question is inspection or QC, quality control. As per the information available to us, we have to divide inspection or quality control expenses based on number of batches. Total estimated expenses are rupees 2 lakhs and number of batches to be operated during the year 2020-21 are 400. So 2 lakhs divided by 400 is equal to rupees 500 per batch. The expenses on inspection of quality control will be transferred to the concerned period or task or batch or the job, whatever you say, based on the rate, and the rate is rupees 500 per batch. And fifth and last activity, it is related to machining. These expenses are allocated based on machine hours. Total expenses to be incurred during the year 2020-21 will be rupees 8 lakhs. It is ready-made given to us in our question. And we are expecting that our machine hours will be 40,000 during the year. So 8 lakhs divided by 40,000. So rupees 20 per machine hour. It means we have to transfer, allocate, charge, appropriate, absorb, recover. There are many words used for distribution in costing. We are supposed to transfer or shift or allocate machining related expenses at the rate of rupees 20 per machine hour on concerned job or task. So in this way we can calculate cost driver rate for all the activities given to us in our question. Now move forward related to one of the important tasks, and it is all about calculation for the month of October 2020. Number of purchase orders that we have placed in the month of October 2020 is 45. You can check over here. It is ready-made given to us in the question. Number of purchase orders 45. Then number of batches. Number of batches are not given to us, but two supplementary informations are provided by the examiner in our question. You can check it. Units of production 20,000 and a production batch size 100 units. It means at a time we are producing 100 units. So total number of production units are 20,000. At a time we are producing 100 units. So number of batch size that we have discussed earlier at the time of discussion of the question, 200. So number of batches are 200. Number of materials movement. As per the information given to us, materials movement per batch 5. And we have 200 batches for the month of October 2020. So total number of material movements are 2000 batches multiplied by 5 is equal to 1000 times. And machine hours 20,000 units multiplied by 0.25 hour per unit. You can check, this information is also given to us in our question. Machine hours per unit 0.25. So on the basis of this information, we need to calculate 20,000 units produced by us during the period of October 2020, and manufacturing time per unit is 0.25. So total number of machine hours utilized during the period of October 2020, 5,000 hours. So we have decided the different cost drivers utilized for the period of October 2020. Now using this information, we need to prepare a statement. And in this statement, we will calculate overheads for October 2020. Particular and amount. Cost of purchasing activity. As per our calculation, cost of purchasing activity to be transferred at the rate of rupees 120 per order. And during October 2020, we have placed total 45 number of orders. So 45 orders multiplied by 120 per order. So total cost of purchasing activity allocated for the period of October 2020 is rupees 5,400. Let us enter overhead related to setup of the machine. As per the calculation, the cost per batch is rupees 900, and we are in need of 200 batches during the month October 2020. So expenses transferred to October 2020 related to setup of the machine, rupees 900 per batch multiplied by 200 batches, total 1,80,000. After discussion of setup of the machine, let us enter one more overhead. It is all about materials handling. As per our calculation, the cost is allocated at the rate of rupees 60 per movement, and we have also completed calculation of number of movements for the period of October 2020. Number of movements are 1,000. So expenses incurred on materials handling related activities allocated for the month of October 2020 is rupees 60,000. Rupees 60 per movement multiplied by number of movements 1,000. After discussion of expenses incurred on activities related to the expenses incurred on inspection or quality control related activities are rupees 1 lakh. Expenditure to be allocated to the concerned project at the rate of rupees 500 per batch, and during October 2020 we have scheduled 200 batches to complete the production of 20,000 units. So rupees 500 per batch multiplied by 200 batches is equal to rupees 1 lakh. And last, expenditure overhead in this list. It is a cost of machining. As per our calculation of cost driver rate, the cost of machining allocated at the rate of rupees 20 per machine hour, and we have utilized 5,000 machine hours during the period of October 2020. So 5,000 hours multiplied by rupees 20 per hour is equal to rupees 1 lakh. In a traditional method, without considering any activities, we used to allocate all the expenditure using traditional methods. Here, we have used perfect base for the distribution. Say, purchasing related activity, number of orders, setup of the machine, number of batches, materials handling, number of materials movement, quality control, number of batches, and cost of machining, machine hours. So this is more scientific than that of traditional method. And total overheads for the October 2020 is rupees 4 lakhs 45,400. It is nothing more than total of 5,400 plus 1 lakh 80,000 plus 60,000 plus 1 lakh and plus 1 lakh. It means at the time of calculation of total cost of the product, in addition to the direct cost, that is direct material, direct labor and other indirect expenses, we need to add indirect expenses or overheads for rupees 4 lakhs 45,400 in order to decide total cost of production. I hope everyone is clear with the calculation of this problem using activity based costing. Keep watching next sessions. Thank you. God bless you.